Every now and then, a vague memory pops in my head of a soccer game I played on GameCube. I remember it having Street Fighter 2-like characters and played like a soccer version of NBA Jam, with special moves and a watered-down version of the sport. I must not have played much of it, but its style definitely stuck with me. And, after a little bit of digging, I think I found it. Sega Soccer Slam, a sports game that's barely a sports game, which makes it the best kind of sports game. Thinking about it, it's more reminiscent of a fighting game, but I'll get to that. The biggest draw, and what probably drew me in as a kid, is the teams and the unique characters for each one. Like the team out of South Africa called Spirit, who consists of a pro soccer player, a witch doctor, and a surfer. Or the South American team El Fuego, with a martial arts specialist, a luchador named El Diablo, and the hell is wrong with his neck? Okay, when I said the characters were unique, I think this is taking it a bit far. Every other character looks fine except for Rico here and Half Pint the British Punk. He's got some kind of Popeye complex, while Rico should probably get that thing x-rayed. The world of Sega Soccer Slam is an interesting one. Here in this alternate reality, soccer championships are more like referee-free blood matches against two teams of three, who, according to the bios, all manage to get superpowers. Mostly by being stranded in extreme conditions. El Fuego have the power of fire because they met while hiding from a fireworks mishap. Team Tsunami have the power of water because they survived a sinking cruise ship. Team Sub-Zero has the power of ice because they accidentally got locked in a pub's walk-in icebox. That's actually what the game says. I decided to start my reunion with this game properly by doing quest mode. Without any recent experience with the game's mechanics or controls, I thought this would be the ideal place to start, and the game would ease me into its intricacies. I was wrong, of course. After I picked my team, I was given a brief screen of controls with a random tip, and then dumped into the first match. It was then that I realized I may be in way over my head. Oh, yeah, and my team. I decided it only seemed proper to honor my roots and pick Team Toxic, the North American team. According to their bio, North America has become all about nuclear power and dayglow. Oh, so it's like Joel Schumacher's Gotham City. This team consists of a brainiac named Nova, a Canadian environmentalist named Rain, and a football-playing frat bro named Duke. Yeah, America's soccer team has a pro football player in it. Not like football, but American. Moving on. My first match, naturally, is on a rainy night in Las Vegas, and I'm against Team El Fuego. And things don't go too badly, as my teammates end up making all the goals for me. Except for when I somehow end up scoring a goal after getting punched by the goalie.
Oh, the keeper comes up empty!
I'm also introduced to the announcer of this game.
Welcome to the Continental Cup, footy fans. I'm Tony Stiggs. Let's get on with the game.
Whose commentary varies from references to a character's bio description.
That was the one time she wanted something in her neck. Absolutely no animals were harmed in making Rain's latest goal.
To just complete randomness.
Somebody remind me to pick up a loaf of bread on the way home.
There's also times when players talk to each other when the ball gets stolen.
Drop that ball!
And the announcer treats it like they just verbally pissed in each other's mouths.
Easy come, easy go. Oh, such harsh language. You're more crazy than I think. That comment deserves a red card.
Surprisingly, my first match was a victory. And for my troubles, I got $100 that can be spent on upgrades for my team. None of which I can afford at the moment, but next there's a shooting challenge that gives me more money for every goal I make. But, because I have no idea how to play this game, yeah. Next proper match is against Team Volta, the European team, with an egotistical Italian, a smug Frenchman, and just a Scotsman. I'm only mildly offended by the stereotype. This time around, we get our asses absolutely handed to us, and during the slaughter, I start to notice my teammates in the other team doing special kicks. And much like when I play fighting games, my attempt at doing something cool by wildly mashing buttons only makes me get worse at the game. And I only just noticed there's some sort of power bars at the bottom of the screen. I don't even know what they do. I did figure out how to turn radioactive, but it didn't seem to do my team any good. So far, my strategy has been to crash into the goal in the hopes that I get the ball past the goalie. Hilariously, the goalie automatically backhands anyone who comes near him, so I end up getting stuck between him and the goal a lot while he just wails on me. After a pathetic attempt to make a comeback, Toxic loses to Volta 8-4. To rub salt in the wound, it turns out the damn Scotsman isn't even wearing a kilt. So, no money for the loss, and now another challenge that I think is trying to teach me how to lob the ball to another teammate for a goal. But, as you can tell, I still have no idea what I'm doing. Next match is against the Northern European team Sub-Zero. Shock of all shocks, the beefy guy with the blonde crew cut is Russian. So far I've only been playing as Rain, and it's now in my third match that I figure out how to play as any character who's near the ball. Meaning this whole time I could have had more sway over my matches instead of hoping my teammates' AI wasn't garbage. I should have this game in the bag then, right? Well, it certainly allowed for more scoring opportunities, but I'll be damned if I can get anything past this goalie. Even after figuring out how these spotlight shots work, turns out all I had to do was hold down the shoot button. They are super satisfying to watch, but not as satisfying as this goal. I wish I could say that was intentional. I even got to smack Lola, the German raver, mid-spotlight shot. Nova just socks her right in the face. Much like real life, though, Germans are annoyingly good at soccer, and despite improving my chances, I lose 5-3. Oh good, and now another challenge for something I literally just learned on my own the last game. And I still suck at it. I don't know if there's a trick I'm just not getting, or if I just need to develop more of a killer instinct when it comes to juking out goalies. The announcer sometimes comments on the goalie looking beat up, but I don't know if that actually means anything gameplay-wise.
That keeper's lost some padding. That can't be right.
Well, at least I have enough money to buy Nova's fanny pack. Hurrah.
You guys are out of here, coyote food. We are united for victory. Are you?
Once again, I'm stuck in a rut of having a lot of opportunities to score, but none of them making it past the goalie. And after a close game at the half of 3-2, I end up losing another game, 8-4. It was a sad second half. I finally figured out what those bars on the bottom are for. When it's full, you can lob the ball to another player to unleash what the game calls a killer kick. And hot damn, I actually make a few goals in the next challenge.
You will be nothing but a statistic.
Tsunami is an interesting team, consisting of a Pacific Islander, a Japanese geneticist, and an Australian. Huh, so that's what Roadhog looks like without the mask. After the last couple of whoopings, I am now determined to get the hang of this game's mechanics. And despite being outplayed a few times by Roadhog and Lady Genji, I managed to sneak the win by a healthy 8-6. The highlight of the game definitely has to be this goal by Rain. I didn't even have to push any buttons, her cue ball just did the work for me. Now, after spending what seems like a millennia in rank 6 of 6, we're finally moving on up to rank 5 of 6. Oh, and now there's an all-star game, and Rain, somehow, managed to get on one of the teams. There's 6 teams, and they need a player from each, so it was clearly a pity pick. So the next match I get to play as her, Roadhog, and Old Gertie here, against the other 3 top players. It's a fun diversion from having to work with the usual roster over and over. That, and Rico is a fucking beast.
I can't believe it!
I think I picked the wrong team to start with. So with an 8-4 victory in the All-Star match, I'd say it's a safe bet I finally got the hang of the game. Only 5 games left to get to rank 1, and now I get to choose who to play against on their home turf, which is great. I was getting really bored of rainy Las Vegas. I swear, I'm not rage pausing whenever the opponent scores. I've just gotten into the habit of trying to use the start button to skip replays. Hey, Monte Carlo looks just like Las Vegas. What a ripoff. Well, that was tense. I'm thinking the game really doesn't want me to be in rank 1, which, if that's the case, it can officially suck it. Check out Nova running interference on the goalie. Now that's some street soccer shenanigans right there. I'm not even telling my players to kick anymore, apparently.
Bring it in, bring it in, bring it in!
We're now in the semifinals, and it's against the team I just beat. Well, let's hurry this up. I just figured out a few games back the right trigger is a run button, so now my finger's starting to cramp up from constantly mashing it. Soccer's a dangerous sport, you know. Hilariously, Spirit somehow managed to put up much less of a fight in the semifinals. Now I'm rolling in the dough and can unlock almost all of my team's equipment. And no, I'm not going to waste any of it on damn concept art. It's actually pretty sweet how you can see the upgrades you buy on your players in the game. It's a nice touch for sure. Each one has its own little backstory too. Apparently Nova is from Gingle X? He's from Canada. Hey, wait. So the North American team has 2 Canadians? Why is one a Poindexter? Is Canada known for its nerds? I don't know, it just seems like they missed an opportunity to have like a redneck stereotype or something. I mean, I guess rednecks aren't really known for playing soccer, are they? But then again, neither are Canadians. And now on to the finals. It's Team Toxic versus El Fuego in the Reactor Core. Oh, so once I reach the finals, I get to unlock my team's official stadium. I would question the reasoning behind letting a game of soccer be played in a nuclear reactor, but now that I've seen Rico again, my suspension of disbelief is on full tilt. Not much to say in this match, really. El Fuego tries to keep it pretty close, but you just can't beat the combined power of maple syrup and apple pie. Speaking of apple pie, Duke now looks like a G.I. Joe action figure with football gear. Which probably actually exists. Yep, it does. And his name is Captain Gridiron. So after a very rocky start, Team Toxic manages to rise up from the waist and, after a 7-game win streak, obtain the cup. The Sega Soccer Cup? Yeah, sure, we'll call it that. What? There's a story after winning? Didn't expect that from a sports game. Duke and Rain apparently end up getting married. Oh good, their sexual tension on the pitch was palpable. The two end up having enough daughters to start an all-female football team. Why not? Nova earns himself residency on the soon-to-be-built space station and starts coaching a soccer team for an outer space league. Somehow not as interesting as the marriage between a frat dude and an eco-warrior. That was actually pretty fun. Now I'm interested in seeing all the other teams and what their unlockables and endings look like. So I tried Team Volta. It was more of the same really, except for when the game fucking cheated. Look at that! The hell kind of goal is that? But to make up for it, Angus backhanded 2 players trying to do a killer kick in the championship. Their team stadium is the lost city of Atlantis, which is pretty rad. Their ending though is kind of anticlimactic. Angus starts an underground boxing league, Dante became big in fashion, and Arsenal became a dog show judge, because he's French. I also played through quest mode as El Fuego, because you know I had to. The highlight of that run? Diablo gets fucking horns. That and he accidentally scored on his own goal during the All-Star match.
Oh, wrong net for Diablo.
Same as Team Volta, the ending is pretty lackluster. Diablo drops wrestling to become a circus ringleader, Madeira just continued being a martial artist, and Rico somehow makes soccer the most popular sport in the world thanks to his large soccer ball. Yeah, something must have been lost in translation here. That leaves 3 more teams to check out. For another time, because I think I'm starting to get arthritis. All in all, I've been pleasantly surprised by Sega Soccer Slam. As I said before, it plays more like a fighting game than a sports game, with all the special moves, the powers, the charged super shot, even how each character represents a different nationality. It reminds me a lot of Street Fighter. Hell, there's a team called Sub-Zero. In fact, Sega Soccer Slam is so much like a fighting game, you'd bet there'd be unlockable teams, right? Well, yes and no. In challenge mode, you can create your own team of 3 players, and after winning 4 games in a row, you unlock 1 character from one of the 3 unlockable teams. Meaning, you have to play 36 games just to get every team unlocked. The real piss-off is you can only use these teams in arcade and challenge mode. You can't use them in the quest mode, nor can you even use them in tournament mode. So, after going through all the work to unlock the unique teams, they're really only usable if you're playing against a friend for a laugh. The teams aren't really that interesting anyway. Team Love is a group of go-go dancers who apparently only joined the soccer league because Lola, the German raver, is their hero.
Woohoo! Yeah, I am a 24-karat scoring machine.
They utilize the power of love, and they got this power after eating too many candy hearts. And I'm okay with that explanation. Team Robo are 3 failed robots created by Team Tsunami's Rumiko, who each have their own unique personality. And by unique personality, I mean one's a cowboy, and the other 2, I have no idea.
That's right, there's a new marshal in town, and there's gonna be some changes around here.
What's weird is their bio refers to Rumiko as their stepmother. I think this is a typo, because if Rumiko created them, then how is she not just their mother? And then there's Team Ohm, who are of course monks. Well, actually 2 are monks. One's a chef suffering from vertigo. Don't know why. They actually have the best looking power-up in the whole game. You know, Team Ohm kind of reminds me of that one movie, Shaolin Soccer. Huh. Man, now I want to watch that movie again. So, see ya.